Hello and welcome to this tutorial on how to move and manage camera activity. Once you have opened the camera console, there are three things that you must check before engaging in any camera movement activity. These three things all involve identifying and assessing the most recent movement activity in accordance to the user code of conduct policy. The first is the recent movement alert. The second is the camera movement log. The third is the camera status bar. The recent movement alert is designed to notify users that someone is actively engaged in camera activity. This display includes the organization and user name and a timer that starts at 0 and will count upward to 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, the alert will disappear. The camera movement log records all camera activity that is performed on the ALERTCalifornia platform. It shows the username, including organization code, message, contact number, pan, tilt, zoom, time moved, and the priority level. There are two priority levels, either high or low. I will explain how these are created shortly. The camera status bar, located at the bottom of the live camera image, shows the latest movement of the camera, as well as some additional information. It is important to check this because currently some users may be accessing the camera through the old proxy. Depending on the size of your monitor, you may find it easier to enlarge the live image to see this information at the bottom. Starting from left to right, we have the camera name, the elevation, the X and Y coordinates, the zoom setting, then organization and username, followed by the last movement. This is the area that you really want to focus on. In this case, it is 4/22, so April 22nd. T stands for time, 9:52. That would be the last time that this camera was moved. And further to the right, we have the current date and time. With this information, you want to make a comparison between the camera status bar last movement and the camera movement log. And in accordance to the code of conduct, you would want to make your assessment. Okay, once you have assessed the camera movement activity and determined it is appropriate for you to move the camera, there are several ways that you can get started. I'm going to start with the bottom panorama view. So on the right, you can see the date and time that the panorama was taken. And on the left, we have a refresh button. So I'm going to start by refreshing the panorama. So I'm going to simply click that. At the top, it's going to ask for a confirmation. I'm going to press OK. And it's going to take about 30 to 60 seconds for the panorama image to compile and upload. Okay, and so now we have a refreshed panorama image. I do want to point out that we're starting with Elk Creek 1. Elk Creek 1 does not have patrol mode. After we cover the basics with Elk Creek 1, we're going to move to Elk Creek 2 that has patrol mode. And so now I want to point out a couple things. First is, as I move the cursor along the panorama image, you're going to notice that in the navigation map, there is a red target that will indicate which direction that is. So north, south, east, west. Once you decide where you want the camera to move, all you need to do is, I'm going to pick a different area here so that we can see the camera move. You just simply left click on the image. You need to confirm camera movement. So at the top, it's going to give you the last log from the camera movement log. It's going to tell you the status of the patrol mode. This one does not have a patrol mode, so it is off. And then there's a space for a message. So right now I'm doing a demo test. If you're saying, observing team, patrolling controlled burn, whatever it is, this is where you can put in a message that will indicate to other users what you're doing and the priority level. And then we have the option of putting in a phone number. So in some instances, you may want people to communicate with you and be able to reach you. So you could put in a telephone number there. This would only be visible to registered users when they signed in. General users do not see camera movement logs. And then you can also set this to a high priority or the default of a low priority. And since this is a low priority, we're going to keep it there. And then you simply hit confirm. Okay, so the camera has moved, and you'll notice that it is in live mode. They have the pink bar at the top. Live mode allows the user to continually move the camera without doing another confirmation. So basically, after 60 seconds, if I move the camera again, I'm going to have to put in a confirmation. But right now, I could click a different area. So I'm going to move into that valley. And I just clicked on the panorama image. And now we can move, and we weren't prompted to confirm that. I'm going to make this full screen. So now this is in wide angle. If we wanted to zoom in, I'm going to say, I want to see what's going on over in this area. I move my cursor to the area of interest. I'm going to hit the control button on the keypad, keep that pressed. Then I'm going to left click the mouse, and I'm going to drag, and it's going to highlight the area. So you can make this a large highlight area, or you can zoom in. I'm going to go in about there, and then once you decide where you want to go, you simply release both of them. I am timed out, so I'm just going to hit confirm. It still has my information there. Okay, and that would bring us in, and then we also have on the right-hand side, we have the zoom scroll bar. So if we wanted to go in, zoom in even more, that's going to bring us in, and that's going to zoom to the center of the image. And if you want to zoom out, you can also scroll down. And that will bring you back to the wide angle. Okay, I'm going to minimize this. The same function works on the panorama. So again, if I wanted to focus in on this area down here, again, press Control, left click, hold and drag, confirm. And you can see the image has zoomed in. Once you are finished, you are going to return this to the home position. So this one is the home position, and I'm going to click that. Okay, that returns the camera to the home position, and as you can see in the camera movement log, it has tracked all of the movements I've made, and now it has the status moved to preset home. And again, this is a best practice because that indicates to other users that this person has reset it to home position. There's no message, and it indicates that it's safe for another user to use the camera. Okay, so now we're on Elk Creek 2, and this camera has a patrol mode setting. Patrol mode is going to have the camera continually in motion, rotating and taking images of 360. You can see that it's in movement. The patrol mode is currently green, which indicates it's on. If it's red, that indicates that it is off. So first I'm going to do a refresh of the panorama. And we're going to give that a couple seconds. Okay, and now you can see that the patrol mode has turned red because it is no longer in patrol mode, it is in panorama data collection mode. Okay, so we have a fresh panorama image. And so all of the functionality is going to be the same as Elk Creek 1. The difference is with the patrol mode, before we start to move the camera or zoom the camera, we simply have to turn that off. And to do so, just click on the icon, confirm And now you can see that the icon is turning red in a second. There it goes. All right. And so I'm going to select an area. I see a pond or something down there. So I'm going to just click on this area with Control, left click, drag, and release. And that brings us in there. You can open it up. So looks like a nice place to chill. And we could navigate more, but for this section, that's really all I wanted to show you. So I'm going to minimize that. You can navigate as you want, but as I said, it would all be the same as Elk Creek 1. So the difference is also on Elk Creek 1, we went back to home position. Elk Creek 2 was on patrol mode when we got onto the camera, and so we want to turn that back on before we leave. And I like to take a second just to make sure that it's going to return. It takes a few seconds to reconfigure itself. Okay, and there it is. And so that is the end of this tutorial. Navigating the camera is super easy. I hope you found this helpful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to us through our contact page. And thank you for watching.